Okay. It is September 30th, 2025, and I am gonna say a really quick prayer real quick, and then we'll get going. Lord, I just thank you so much for this day. I thank you for all the ladies that are here. I thank you that we can come together each week and just learn and help each other and support each other. Lord, I do lift up the family of Linda Lee. She was a consultant that passed away this past week, Lord, and I just thank you that she had been in the unit for gosh, 12 years, I think, 10 or 12 years. And I just pray for her family. And Lord, we also lift up the Bentley family. We have two consultants that were related to her. It was Judith's mom and Stephanie's husband's grandma. And we pray for that family too as they grieve and have a funeral this week. And Lord, I just pray that you just guide us through this evening, just help this to be clear to us, that will help us move forward with just our business and handling our money and all the things. And Lord, we just pray for your will for who might be here during bingo, and just help it to be a blessing to all that come, and help them to enjoy it, and help Jody and I to be able to communicate clearly how wonderful our products are. Lord, we thank you so much for just all the blessings that you give us. And we just pray that this meeting will be to your glory. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Oh,
So,
let me take.
um, yeah, we've had two deaths just related to our unit this week. So kind of sad. Both of the ladies were in their 80s, but still um, hard for family and all of that. So okay, so let's do a little recognition. I did get some accomplishment sheets this week. I got some from Dawn and Jody and Debbie. Debbie had a $224 week, and Jody had a $316 week, and Dawn had a $520 week. So, that collectively, that's really good, and that's great. Dawn, what was your, was it reorders? Did you do some faces? Because you haven't had your big party yet, right?
Right. Jeez. Yeah, there was two big reorders. 150 was one, 160 was another, and also a few on the goes. So yeah.
And I
And I think
just,
one of them was a result of PCP.
yeah.
So yeah.
And I messed up and didn't add mine up. Eek. Sorry, guys. I was still trying to get my order in for the end of the month, which I usually never wait till the last day. So I apologize. I did have some reorders this week. And most of mine in the last few days were people that their birthday is in the month of September, and they wanted to get their order in to get their birthday discount before the end of the month. So that was mostly what mine was. I have not done as many faces this month as I wanted to. So October is going to have to be more faces for sure. I don't know where September went. It just seemed like it zoomed by. So anyway, okay. Stephanie, are you still good to do product knowledge? Look at her. No? Yes? Okay, you might have to unmute. I was like, we are so happy for you to do product knowledge. What product are you going to tell us
Oh,
about?
it's gonna be bad.
No, it's not. It's going to be great.
I'm gonna do the toner.
Oh, good. Okay. We're excited about that. All right. What do you have to tell us about that?
Okay, so it says Mary Kay Balancing Toner is described as a gentle, refreshing toner that helps restore skin balance without drying it out.
Yep.
What else did I put? I mean, it's supposed to be used, post cleaning, like you clean your face, then you use your toner to prep for the rest of your makeup and stuff. It's alcohol free. It doesn't leave a residue. It contains antioxidants. It's fragrance free. It won't clog your pores. Um, Dermatologist tested, and it's for all skin types. And the packaging that it comes in is PCR, post consumer resin, and it's part of the Mary Kay sustainability efforts. Um, a study said that 92% of women said it feels gentle.
Hmm.
And it has been awarded the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval.
Oh, yay. Okay. I forgot about that. Okay,
It's
that's great.
recommended you use it twice a day, in the morning and night. And that's what I got.
Do you use it?
I just started.
You just started. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Um, I am trying to use it daily, and it's not part of, I haven't done a good job of it being part of my routine, but I really think it's beneficial, and so I'm trying to make it more a part of my routine.
You just got
Um,
to put everything on the sink and go in order. That's how I get mine.
I
You just
think,
got to have it all right there. It's like my Mary Kay products, my vitamins, everything that I got to
that's
do is right
great.
there in line.
You could really sell that, like take a picture of that, show your customers, like this is the routine. You do your
Yeah,
skincare and your vitamins.
post that on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great. Here's
Yeah.
my morning and evening routine all lined up.
yeah, I've seen recently, Brenda, Heather, and Fearing. What's the Fearing girl's name?
He he
Heather.
Heather.
Heather Fearing, Heather Daniel Kent,
Hmm.
and Brenda, they all in their skincare reels are definitely talking a lot about the toner and use their use of the toner for
Hmm.
sure. So, I mean, if people if they're going to motivate people, I think, who watch their videos to also use this.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I do like the fact that it doesn't have alcohol, and so, and
Yeah.
I had some people that were on the botanicals, the prior botanicals one, and they have loved this one, and I really think this has more benefits to it. I think the other one was just botanicals, and it was pretty in pink or whatever, but I haven't had anybody have an issue moving over to this one.
I really like it because it doesn't leave a residue, and I felt like that the balancing, that the toner and the botanicals did leave a residue. By the way, fabulous job, Stephanie. You are coming out of your shell and you're doing such a great job. So good job.
Yes, thank you, and we appreciate you doing it.
And she's gone.
Okay. Um, so next week, Debbie, do you want to do product knowledge next week? Okay, we got Debbie down for next week. If that's
Something
good.
you guys like me to do on it, or did you? I wasn't able on last week. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but it was like 6:45 when I remembered.
Oh no.
I usually have my alarm set so that I don't forget it, and I was just busy and I forgot. But did you do the fall stuff last week?
No, last week, Dawn did a segment on niacinamide, and I
Oh, okay.
actually just posted today on our Facebook page where she got her information about it and which products the niacinamide is in. So that's what she
Okay.
did last week. And the
Okay.
week before, I think, is when I did the under eye thing. Oh, and Jody did waterproof lip liners.
Liners. Okay.
So that's what we've done, and we've done eye patches lately.
Right. I
Uh,
love those. I didn't use them before, and when I found out that you could use them right here, I'm like, I started using them there. And if you look at me, this side of the face droops a little more, just a little more. So I like try to go like this when I talk to people. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I started using them a lot, and I love them. I thought they were kind of expensive, but I didn't realize how much you really get in there.
yeah,
They're great.
yeah. So that's kind of what we've done lately. So anything you want to do,
All right.
I mean, it doesn't even hurt me. Like if we've done it like a couple of months ago, I always get reminded of things. Like Stephanie reminded me of some things related to the toner that I don't always say,
Right.
like I don't think my brain retains it all.
Can I ask you
I'll-
real quick
Yeah.
about Addie? What is Addie not getting on here anymore after she got married?
Yeah, she moved to South Korea
Okay.
and she can't be a consultant there.
Oh,
And they don't have Mary Kay in South Korea. So,
oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry
So
about
I know
that.
she's sad about that. So anyway,
Yeah.
she's still kind of, I didn't take her out of our group.
Yeah,
And so I just left her in there, if she wants to
that's
do
good.
things. But anyway, I don't know if y'all saw on Facebook today, she's pregnant.
I did. I saw
Oh,
it.
no, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And Clara, is her sister. And I did talk to Clara yesterday. I would love for Clara to come hang out with us. Maybe she will sometime. So
That'd be nice.
yeah. Anyway. And yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
and does anyone have anything to share that's just been great this week that they want to share? I mean, Jody has a new kitchen. That's pretty exciting. Um, anything good that it could be Mary
I
Kay or
told you
otherwise?
everything. Can I
Yeah.
tell them?
Yes. Tell us what
Okay.
you're doing in 2 weeks.
Real quick, I'm having a Christmas open house. I want at least 30 people. I'm inviting everyone, whether a customer or not. I'm giving incentive to bring 2 people, and I'm going to have a Christmas bingo. And I went to the bingo cards and I made up 30 different cards. And we're going to have prizes. I'm having it at my church, so we have a large area and lots of parking and stuff. And I'm going to decorate for it and everything. So I'm really excited about it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, one thing that Debbie did tell me that I really want to try to do better with my open houses this fall and into Christmas is encouraging them some kind of incentive to bring friends so that I can get new customers, or potential new customers. And I feel like referrals are the best way, especially if they bring them with them. And so I don't know that I've done lately in the last couple of years done as good a job at that. So I'm really wanted to incentivize people to bring friends to the open house this year. It's something I really want to focus on. So she had mentioned she was going to have them each bring 2 friends. So anyway, I thought that was good. So now, Dawn, did you raise your hand? Did you have something
I
good you wanted to share?
did.
Yeah.
So I had my first personal training session with my new personal trainer at the new gym today, and I
Oh.
was wearing this. And
Oh,
when I walked in, she immediately said, "Oh, you're a Mary Kay consultant." I said, "Yes." Blah blah blah. She's like, "Oh, when I see you again on Thursday, would you bring me a book? I've recently decided to get into some more personal care." And yada yada yada. That's the first thing she said to me before we even got started. She wanted a book.
yeah. That's
Like,
exciting.
and because I'm wearing our brand, right?
Yeah. Hmm. Very smart. Very smart. I'm always scared to wear my brand to the gym because y'all, I look bad when I go to the gym. But I don't wear makeup, and so I mean, I guess that could be good or bad depending on what they think.
Oh, I did have lipstick on and the earrings, and somehow she's like, "Of course you are, because you're dressed up." But I went prepared to sweat and do my work. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it just was kind of funny.
Okay. Thanks, Jody. Well, I mean, I mean, if I tell someone how old I am, that sometimes helps me because they don't think I'm as old as I am, which I'm glad. That's because I have used Mary Kay since I was 15, and I'm not a sun worshiper. I think it's both of those things. Though I have been getting out to walk my dogs every day and getting the sunshine, which is good. Which is really good. Okay, thank you all for sharing. Both of those things are very exciting. Okay, so what I want to do tonight, which you guys may have watched this because I sent it to you, and you may not have had time to watch it, but when we do the 5th Tuesday of the month, I want to really focus more on money management, which is really not everybody's favorite thing. And some of these things that we know, but some of these things we don't do. So I want to listen to Kristen Sharp's money management thing. Did anybody listen to it when I sent it on Sisterhood? I sent it on the Sisterhood Facebook page. Okay, so you might not have. So we'll listen to that because the way she explains it, I think, is better than the way I explain it. And then after that, I want to talk a little bit about inventory, a little bit, like building inventory and being active and that kind of thing. So we'll listen to her because she does such a great job, and then we'll chat after that.
National Sales Director Kristen Sharp coming in with your Thursday Thankful message. And today I want to talk about working your business with the 60-40 split. That's right, the 60-40 split. I also want to just share with you a couple just quick and easy money management tips for your Mary Kay business. So for starters, I have a separate checking and savings account for my Mary Kay business. It's actually at a credit union. I don't call it a business account, even though I know it's a business account. And it's purely because I really hardly have a whole lot of money in that account. I deposit my checks, my cash, I transfer my Venmo payments, my ProPay into this account, but I also pay myself and buy product out of this account. So I don't commingle with my family accounts or any other accounts. And I'll tell you, I think that's one of the reasons my husband has always loved Mary Kay is he only sees deposits. That's right. He only sees deposits from my profits from my Mary Kay business because I have a separate checking and savings account that runs my consultant business of selling the product with Mary Kay. And so because I have always really had this, it's just has simplified and made my bookkeeping so easy. So step one is you want to make sure you have a separate checking and savings account for your Mary Kay business. And I use my savings account for my 10%, which I'm going to talk about, but it's the money that I set aside for things like enrolling customers in the preferred customer program, Section 2 items, seminar, career conference registration, things like that. If I want to buy stuff from Court of Achievers or wrapping supplies, that is in my savings account. That's part of my 10% in reference to the 60-40 split, which we'll talk about. Now, the other thing that I'll tell you that I've streamlined is I do use, of course, ProPay. It's just simple, it's easy because it's connected to our Mary Kay website. And I do have the ProPay app, which also has simplified things. But I have Cash App and Venmo as well. But I use Venmo for my Mary Kay business. I use Cash App for my personal life. So if I were to go get my nails done and I paid the girl with Cash App, that's totally fine. But I would never pay the girl with my Venmo account because Venmo I use for my Mary Kay business. So I say that because sometimes with these online tools like Cash App or Venmo or Square or Apple Pay, you're commingling your Mary Kay money, maybe your other business if you have one, family money, all the things, and it gets so confusing. So I really do keep Cash App for my personal life and then Venmo for my business. And that little switch really, really helps. Okay. The third thing is I've always been obsessed with the 60-40 split. Probably because my mom taught it to me at the very beginning of my career. But I want to walk you through this concept because maybe it's new to you, okay? So think about how 100% is what customers pay you for products, meaning that when you charge someone, right, you are charging them the full retail price that's in the lookbook. Now, when you start discounting products, I will tell you, maybe you give your mom a 20% discount or your sister a discount. I would really try to steer clear of that because it really messes up you getting into profit level fast. And it makes the 60-40 split more difficult. I never joined Mary Kay until I was 25, but my mom always made me pay full price. And I'm so glad she did because it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm buying so much, like, becoming a consultant. I'm so glad she never gave me the discount because I might not have joined when I did if I would have been buying everything at cost. So I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write 60% on one side and I want you to write 40% on the other. And I actually want you underneath the 60% to put 50% plus 10%. Okay? So under the 60%, I want you to put 50% plus 10%. So when we talk about, let's say, even collecting $100 in products before tax, okay, you're going to have $60 on one side, $40 on the other. And let me explain. 50%, when you sell $100 in products, 50% is money to restock yourself, okay, that you will have to reorder back exactly what you sold. Because if not, you're going to deplete your inventory and you're going to have nothing on hand and you're going to be trying to sell from an empty wagon. So when I sell $100 worth of product, I immediately know that $50 or 50% is another way to look at this, is money to restock myself and to reorder exactly what I sold, okay? Then I take 10%, okay, out of that 60% column, 10%, that money I set aside to have things like enrolling my customers in the preferred customer program, Section 2, seminar, career conference, etc. Okay? So if you were looking at a 60-40 split with $100 in products sold, 60% of $100 is $60, right? $50 is going to restock my product. $10 is going into my savings account for Section 2. So really, when I sell $100 worth of product, doing the 60-40 split, I have $40 left over, which is that other column, 40% that I was telling you about. And 40% is really your true profit. This is your money to do whatever you want to do with after you've ordered your products to replace your inventory and you've paid off your full store. Now, back in the day, a full store with Mary Kay was $3,600, and our prices have gone up. So I really think a full store is much more than $3,600. But I also think, we have CDS, customer delivery service. We do a lot more stuff online. So for simplicity purposes, I'm just going to say that a full store is $3,600. Okay. Now, do I think it's more, especially if you have big goals? Absolutely. That's the bare bone minimum. Now, obviously, I'm talking to someone that's calling into the $1 million message that wants to make a profit and build a business, not to a friends and family, consultant that just wants to sell a mascara here and there. Okay? So you're able to take a true profit of 40% when you have a full store or you've paid off your initial investment. So if you're a new consultant and you started with an $1,800 or a $2,400 or a $600, the goal is to get to $3,600 or more, okay, to have a full store. And then, of course, before you choose to take a profit, I highly suggest that you pay off your initial investment. If it's paying back your family account, if it's paying off that credit card that you put the product on, the goal is to really, truly get your business to be debt-free. Now, what's the philosophy behind working your business, the 60-40 split? Let me walk you through this. The idea behind working your business at the 60-40 is that you always have profit. You always have product, and you always have savings, and you never have debt. So let me say that again. The philosophy behind working your business with the 60-40 split is the idea behind working your business to always have profit, you're going to always have product, and you will always have savings, and you'll never have debt. So profit. Now, don't be confused because, of course, we do make 50% profit on all we sell. But when you're putting away that 10% and only taking 40% profit, as I'm referring to as true profit, you will always have savings. So when it's time to, for example, do the preferred customer program or register for a seminar or to buy some of the limited edition products, you're going to have it. A key part of money management is putting 10% of all that you sell into savings, which means you will never not have money for items that help you build your business and make it easier, such as the preferred customer program, which, of course, saves you time and money, having Mary Kay send that lookbook out and build your reorder business. Also, that 10% is what you spend on samples. Sometimes I see people spending so much money on samples. You guys, you should only have samples be a very small percentage of your orders, and they're paid for out of that 10%, okay? I love to put that 10%, my little nest egg of savings, in my actual Mary Kay savings account, so it doesn't get commingled. I don't overspend on samples because of that, okay? Also, that 10% is where I put my money for seminar and career conference. So I'm motivated. So when it's time to go to those conferences, it's not like I'm trying to put together the money. I've sold products and put away that 10% to do those extra things, okay? So again, savings and that 10% is key. So I know we say we make a 50% profit, but truly, in my opinion, a true profit is 40%, okay? Now, product. Since COVID, since this customer delivery service, I've noticed that a lot of consultants just don't even have enough product on their shelf. And we don't want you to feel overwhelmed with how much product you have, but we want you to feel like it, of course, is saving you time and giving better customer service. So let me explain this. Think of a grocery store or Target or the Gap. Is your grocery store ever out of bread or milk? Well, maybe if there's a storm, and it's terrible, right? Or is Target ever out of paper towels or toilet paper? Is the Gap ever out of jeans? No, because they always scan what they sell, and that lets them know what products to reorder to restock their shelves. Working your business is the same way. By reordering what you sell on a regular basis means you're always ready to fill your customers' orders, and therefore they will keep coming back to you over and over again. So when you hear the phrase, you can't sell from an empty wagon, it's true. Like, I cringe when I see people saying online, placing my Mary Kay order, let me know what you want, and then people get products, 2 to 3 weeks later. No! We want to give people an Amazon experience with a boutique feel and surprise and delight. And that happens when you have products on hand and you can give it right there at the appointment and drop it off at their house within 24 hours. Or if you do mail it, you can mail it in super cute bubble mailer with happy stickers. And if it doesn't make sense to mail it and to use the CDS program, you can, right? But many times I save a lot on shipping using Pirate Ship and shipping it in-house, which, P.S., if you don't have Pirate Ship or Stamps.com to mail out your own products in cute padded envelopes, I highly suggest you look at that because many times that's a cheaper option than Mary Kay. Sometimes it's not, and CDS is the best option. Know the difference. Okay, debt. Okay, the first thing that you want to eliminate in your business. So, after all, I'm guessing you didn't come into Mary Kay to spend money. You came in to make money. So, we all know that starting a business involves some sort of initial startup cost. And you guys, the Mary Kay business is no different, but what is different is that our startup experience is far lower than most businesses and allows you to make far more money sooner and, of course, pay off your startup expenses in full. That's the great thing, since most businesses involve startup costs that are never recouped. We recommend that you pay off your initial Mary Kay investment in one of two ways. So number one, you put all of your true profit towards paying off your initial investment until it's paid off. Meaning that 40% that I was telling you about, you say, hey, I'm not going to take a profit until I pay off that first initial order. Now, with the Mary Kay Great Start, awesome bundles, you guys, you're able to get into profit levels so much faster because of the free product. It's 100% profit. But if you're like, hey, oh my gosh, I got to take some cash, I got to pay some bills, I would suggest option number 2, which is to put half of your true profit towards paying off your initial investment until it's paid off. Meaning, with my example of $100 in product sales and $40 being profit, okay, you take $20 to pay yourself, and you take $20 to pay off your initial maybe credit card investment in your product order, okay? Either way, whether you do take your 40% and pay yourself 20 and you keep 20, or you take the entire 40%, or maybe you choose to do 30 and 10, you want to make sure you know how many appointments you need to do to sell enough product to pay that initial debt off. So, I'm telling you, if you need support with this, talk to your Mary Kay Soul Structure. She can help you come up with a plan with what that is in phases or parties or appointments. But I truly believe that when you get the 60-40 split down, you are going to have more success in your business. The other thing that I would say is very important is attending your weekly success meeting, whether it's virtual or in person, because that is where we teach you how to sell these products, and we teach you how to book everyone, and we teach you how to follow up and do a second color appointment, whether virtual or in person. And this is also, you guys, where you can get more hostesses that invite you and bring you into their home to invite you to see other people. I mean, this is full circle at its best. So sometimes we get so excited about the next goal in Mary Kay, and we get so excited about what we sell. It's like we take that money and we go through the Starbucks drive-thru, or we go shopping, and that's truly like working another job, opening up a cash register, and taking money out. You would never on earth do that. That's silly. But what I've noticed is that many consultants have been stealing from themselves, embezzling from themselves, and wondering why their Mary Kay books, okay, and their finances are a hot mess. So, no judgment. Please know there's been times in my business where I'm like, I got to just start a new checking and savings account. It's a hot mess. I got to have a clean slate. So if you're a new consultant, I'm so glad you're listening to this message because you can start off with a great start. If you're a seasoned consultant, but realize you haven't been doing the 60-40 split, I want you to say from this point forward. From this point forward. Now, one of the best tools that we have on Mary Kay is our weekly accomplishment sheet. And if you haven't seen that, it's under My Business on InTouch. And when you enter your cells into your weekly accomplishment sheet, or you've connected it to the My Customers app, it does the 60-40 split for you. It even breaks down how much you make per hour and how much per face. So if math is not your thing, and I was giving this example of 60-40 on here, and you're like, oh my gosh, Kristen, this makes zero sense. If you do the weekly accomplishment sheet, it does the math for you. Now, I will also put a little teaser with the 60-40 split and how it works on my Kristen Sharp NSC Facebook page, so you can take a look at it. If you're a visual person, I think that will help you. But just know, we have the tools on InTouch through the weekly accomplishment sheet. And if you follow what I shared, in addition to the guidance of your sales director, I believe you can be a smart businesswoman and have more money. And I truly believe that God will give you more when you are committed to honoring what He gives you. All right, this is National Sales Director Kristen Sharp signing off with your money management training today, 60-40 split. I know that you can do it. Bye for now.
Okay. So a lot of us know this, or we've heard it. It's not unfamiliar, but I think it's helpful if you have new consultants, like if you're recruiting people, that you can teach them this from the very beginning. And then if you're not really doing this, or if you're like, oh yeah, I know that, but I'm not really doing it, you can see the value of what she's talking about in doing it. I think that I will tell you that next week I will get my director's memo tomorrow, but I do know that you guys are probably going to be receiving, I believe you're going to be receiving an email tomorrow, or it'll at least be on your Mary Kay in Touch, some of the changes they're making to the what they're calling e-commerce, which I think the changes they're going to make are going to make our 60-40 split a little more complicated. So I think it's important to understand the basic 60-40 split, and the fact that we want to, going forward, as they make changes with how they're going to do our websites and how orders are going to go through and everything, that you understand your basic money management now, because it is going to, I think, get a little more complicated based on some of the stuff that they're going to change. And I don't even have all the answers yet on that, but hopefully you're going to get some stuff tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it next week. But, you know, it kind of depends too on what your goals are, you know, and I was thinking, you know, we're all at different levels, even on this call. Like some of us are like, have a team and we're moving forward. Some of us, you know, order every so often. Some of us order every month. Like it's different in our unit, depending on what your goals are. But I would say if you want to make money in Mary Kay, I think the first step, because we're always talking about star consultant, be a star consultant, order 600 wholesale. And some of you guys are not there, and that's really okay, because it needs to be whatever your goal is. But I would say if your goal is to make money, to start initially with making sure you're active, you know, ordering every quarter to make sure you're active, because the value in that is it's letting you order in between. Now, some of the e-commerce things that they're going to change, that may change a little bit, but it's going to be to your disadvantage because you're not going to make as much money. And so I don't think we want to do anything that's going to make us not make as much money. So I think working the way this is with the 60-40 and saying, okay, I'm going to shoot to order, you know, enough so that I'm active every quarter. And then that allows you to do those smaller orders in between if you need to, and which is helpful. And, you know, if you're at that point where you're like, okay, I'm working enough where I just want to be active, then I would definitely try to do PCP every quarter, which, by the way, the deadline for PCP for the winter book is tomorrow. It's kind of crazy that these last 2 months have been close to the end of the month. I don't think it'll be that way next time. But if you want to do PCP for the books that'll get mailed in November, you have till tomorrow to do that. But if you're trying to stay active, if you do PCP, then you can follow up with those customers as soon as they get their lookbooks and try to get all their orders at the same time, so that then you can do an order, because it makes it a little bit easier for you, especially if you don't have inventory. And then what I would work up to is building enough customers where you're ordering every single month. You know, even if it's 225 wholesale every single month and you're staying active that way, but you're selling enough that you can order 225 every single month. And then I'm giving 300, if you order 350 wholesale every month, you're going to be in some kind of drawing. So this month it's the Visa gift cards. 2 people are going to get those. I will tell you in October it'll be more free product because we'll have new products coming out for November. So I'll probably be giving, I don't know what I'm giving yet, but I'm going to probably be giving some free product to multiple people in the month of October based on a 350 wholesale order. And so, and then your next step is to keep increasing your customer base so that you are hitting 600 wholesale every month. And then you're a star. And the reason why they came up with that amount to begin with was because it keeps you consistent in selling. And when you do a 60-40 split, you're going to profit $500 a month if you're hitting 600 wholesale every month. If you're selling enough and doing your 60-40 split and you're ordering 600 a month, your profit should be $500 every month. And who else could use $500 profit every single month? Plus, you still have what she's talking about, your savings in your 10%. I'll tell you I'll just, I'm not going to poo-poo anybody on how they handle money, but I'll say when I became a director, sometimes when you become a director, you have a few more expenses. And I started paying for rent at a studio and I bought a director suit and, I was finishing DIQ. And so that is the only time, other than when I initially started, that I had a little debt in my business. And so, I'm like, whoo, I'm a director, I'm running my business and all this. And my husband really stays out of my Mary Kay business. He's like, this is your money, you do what you want. However, after that, I had gotten myself into just a little bit of debt and we were getting ready to go to fall retreat. And he says to me, can you afford to go to fall retreat? And I was like, well, not really. And he's like, well, is this a business or a hobby? And he's like, if it's a business, you would have the money to go to fall retreat. If it's just a hobby, you don't. He goes, my personal suggestion is you don't travel until you have the money and you don't have any debt. And so it was my first year as a director and I did not go to fall retreat, which our national wasn't super happy with me. But I got my poop in a group and I got my money worked out because he wanted to be able to see that the fact that I became a director should have been bringing more money. But I had kind of gotten, a little out of whack because I bought 2 director suits and I got, all the things. So, at first it kind of ticked me off that my husband said that. And it was truly my decision. However, I looked at it and I thought, he's really kind of right. I don't, unless I'm truly just traveling because I want to be traveling and it's fun for me and this is a fun trip and this is a hobby, then it's fine. Because if that's my choice to make, that's fine. But I was saying, no, this is a business. So if I want to run it as a business, then I need to be able to afford it. So I tried to go back and make sure that I did the 10%. And so now I don't have that issue. And so when it's time to register for a seminar or register, I don't have to scramble because I have saved the money. So there is value in doing that. It just eases up things for you and then you're not under stress. So, and when I'm training money management, I'm not, picking on anyone. Everybody, it's your decision how you handle your money. But I want to make sure that you are aware of the way it can easily be easier for you. And you're making a profit. And we want to teach new people when they start. And I think with some of the changes the company's getting ready to make, it's going to be valuable to have this solidified in our head, how best to make money, because they're going to make some things easier for you to be able to order if you're not active and for CDS to work even if you're not active, which is better. In a way, it's going to be easier access for customers, but you're not going to make 50% when they do that. So you need to think about that because you want to be able to make money. So I just kind of wanted to talk about this before we start talking about the changes that are coming, which I don't think they're changing anything. They've not given us the exact date, but I don't think they're changing it till January. So we have a little bit of time, but just something to think about. So any thoughts, questions? What you think about it? Money's so much fun to talk about.
I'm going to tell you that I've been in Mary Kay for 43 years and I've never done this. And it's not the right way to do it. I will get all the money together and put in a Mary Kay order. The next little bit I'll keep for myself. You know,
Yeah.
it's not the way to do it. And I've been trying to do better with this, but I'm also trying to build up my inventory a little bit because I am working more now. Because of illnesses and car wrecks and all kinds of things. I was on and off and on and off. I never got out of Mary Kay because I just love it. And I'm loving it. I'm much better now. And I'm really happy that it's not making me sick. You know, the more I did, the worse I got. And so I'm just trying to be like calm about it and go forward and stuff. But it's the right thing to do. I can't, Michael, say, how much money do you make? I don't know. You know, I spend money here and there and stuff. And I like to buy samples and I like to do this stuff, but it's the right. I used to have an account and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go get an account and I'm going to do it right. Yay for me.
Well, and I do
Finally
say,
doing
I
it.
mean, you know, if you don't have to have anyone else you're paying for or whatever,
Right.
accountable to yourself. But one of the things that I was taught that was helpful to me personally, and I think it was probably helpful to my husband, and we still do this, is I pay for specific things. So
Mhm.
I know that I have to, and you know, if you're only accountable to yourself or your husband has nothing to do with your money,
Mhm.
that's fine.
Right.
But just be accountable to yourself. So
Right.
but it's way easier. So when I was first in Mary Kay and I had little kids and I needed my husband to watch my kids every Tuesday or
Yeah.
Monday when I had meetings. So this was a family thing. Like I needed his support so I could be out of the house or whatever. When
Me
the
too.
kids
Yeah.
were little, it was important to me to show him that it wasn't just fun time for me, even though it was. I was actually contributing something to the family income, which was important for me to do. So I paid certain bills. And so,
Mhm.
but you could choose to pay certain bills with your Mary Kay profit.
That's right.
And you just have to be accountable to yourself for that.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
been helpful to us. And then, you know, my husband stays out of my business whenever I'm just like, I'm paying this.
Me too.
He just stays out of it. So that works great. And so like right now, you know, when my son decided to go to Rochester, the deal was how much money do you need every month to live there and go to school? And my husband's like, I don't want any of that coming out of my retirement or out of my. So I
Yeah.
said, I will pay for what he needs.
Mhm.
So we talked about what my son's budget is. And so I know I have to make enough every month to help him pay for his budget. He's doing really well. He's actually not spending as much as we expected. So I thought that's good. So, and I told him, I'm not sending you as much in December because you're going to be home for part of the time. But it's helpful to pick something that you're paying for. But it could be something small. You could say, my profit for Mary Kay is going to pay, you know, this bill every month. Or sometimes cell phone bills are expensive, but you know, it pays your cell phone bill, or it pays this bill, or it pays gas for my car, or I'm saving for this particular thing. So I'm putting this much profit of my Mary Kay back every month so that then I can purchase this. And so it also gives you kind of a sense of accomplishment because you're not just willy-nilly, I don't know how much money I'm making, you know, you actually can have kind of a sense of accomplishment of this is what my Mary Kay money's paying for. You know, and for some people, they're like, I just need all my stuff 50% off. That's all that's important to me.
Right.
So that's okay. It's whatever your choice is, but
Mhm.
just know that if money is something you need to make, you can. But you do have to, you know, run it like a business and do your books
Right.
like a business in
If
order
you
to.
want to recruit, you have to be able to tell your recruits the right way and that you've been doing that and that you can make money. Sometimes people want to see that you're making money. How much do you make? You know,
Yeah.
well, 50%. 50% of what?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I understand it totally. And because I'm able to do more with it and not be so wishy-washy and we're okay with everything, you know, my goal now, and like I said, I have to be careful. I have to go along, uh, maybe not quite so fast as I wanted to, but I really want to win a car.
Mm.
And I don't think I'll be able to be directorship or anything. That I think that would be too much for me because I don't want to get sick and not be able to do things. But the reason I'm telling everybody on this, even though you're recording it, is because I want them to know not everybody does it perfect. Not everybody has no problems. You know,
Yeah.
I've had lots of problems and I still do it. And it's made me so many friends and made me so much happier. I mean, if I didn't have this, I would just really be down in the dumps. It's been a wonderful thing for me for years and years. I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they don't think,
Well,
oh my God.
and I
she's
haven't done it. I haven't done it perfectly either. So I've learned over my
Yeah.
26 years,
I
you
know.
know, and like even when I became a director, I was a little off, and my husband's like, "I thought this you were supposed to be making more money." So you know, so
Yeah.
it was good, but that encouraged me to get everything together, and so that was helpful. So
too.
any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you guys for listening. I think Kristen Sharp does a better job than me, so that's why I thought, well, listen to her, and she's very positive. I agree with her on the Venmo and Cash App thing, but not everybody that I pay Venmo, you know, like has Cash App, and so that is kind of a challenge to kind of keep all that separate. I try to keep it separate, but like some of my personal people don't take Cash App, so it's kind of hard to, you know. That I have a little harder time with. I have to keep track of it. So anyway, okay. Anything else? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording, and I appreciate y'all's attention on a money management night.